anymore internal voice. I have changed my name because somebody recommended and suggested me to change. Okay, so it's gonna be like that. We need to accept, improvement and suggestion from anybody else. Okay, so I have now a new YouTube channel name. Okay, so it's gonna be Science, Health, Safety, and Music. Welcome to my Science, Health, and Safety Music channel. I rebranded my channel. Okay, let's go back to my science row this time. Okay, we're gonna be talking about different types of sugars for health, for bad health or for good health. So let's find out, right? Okay, so I'm gonna be having this. I'm gonna take this shortly, not like this. Okay, so like that. So we're gonna be discussing the different types of various forms of sugars. Oh my gosh, I'm becoming, thin. So what's happening to me now? Nakakaloka. Yes, me for a while. My gosh. So I need to weigh my weight, okay? My gosh! Because I look thinner today, right? Perfect! Oh my gosh. Still 65 kilograms. Okay, and 120/80 blood pressure. Okay. This is gonna be like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is gonna be. So our time for today is really carbohydrates, huh? Because sugar is an example of carbohydrates. Okay. Like that. Carbohydrates. Some people pronounce this or shortcut this to carbs. High carbs and low carbs. Low carbs are common to people who are doing their diet, health, fitness, and exercise. To these people who go to the gym, things like that, they minimize and cut off their carbs intake, especially the refined carbs or carbohydrates. Okay? To the point. So, carbohydrates. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, carbon plus, oh my gosh, hindi makita guys. Carbon plus hydrates. So, carbon plus water. Okay, things like that. So, empirical formula, CH2O or CN or wala pa. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, not. So, carbohydrates is well represented by the sugar called glucose. Glucose is the blood sugar. Okay, so it's blood sugar. We need to say we need. So it's gonna be 6 atoms of carbon here. 12 atoms of hydrogen. We're gonna put 6 atoms of hydrogen here. So we balance by visual inspection, not by algebraic expression way of chemical balancing. So we have here oxygen is 8 at the right, and we have 12 plus 6, 18 at the right, 8 at the left, so we still balance of 10 here. Okay, to compensate the 10, so 2 times 5. Okay, now let's do it the balancing element to element. Okay, so carbon 6, hydrogen 12, oxygen is 6 plus 10 is 16. O diba? Nakakaloka. Okay, then 12 plus 6 is 18. This is gonna be 8. 6 plus algebraic, so that we will not be confused, is equals to 12 plus 6, then 2x is equals to 18 minus 6, then 2x is equals to 16 divided by 2, then therefore 8 is gonna be 8. Okay? Like that. Get the point mga palangga kumitan. Okay. So, it's balanced or not? 6 plus 16, 22, 12 plus 6. So, okay, this is not balanced. So, we will not go to the trial and error method. This is, I don't like, when I was in my college, I don't like to balance by trial and error method. Okay, because I always became wrong. When I changed my math, chemical calculations, stoichiometry, because I changed my method on how to balance the chemical reactions, because you cannot obtain the answers if you don't balance well the chemical reactions. That's one subject. Two subjects in chemical engineering: the stoichiometry, industrial stoichiometry 1 and 2, or the chemical calculations 1 and 2. Those are the subjects that you need to master the chemical reactions. Okay, how to predict the reactants and the products. If those chemical reactions are not balanced, you cannot get the answer. Okay, so I changed. So let's do algebraic expression. Okay, so carbon first. Okay, 6 here is nothing, right? It's equals to, let X as the atoms of carbon. It's gonna be X. Okay, X times 1 is equals to X. So therefore, X is equals to 6. Put 6 with the X. So 6 CO2. Okay? So, muna siya mga palangga. Okay? So, okay? Hydrogen, 12 here. So, 12, 6. Or put beside hydrogen 6 in the water. Okay? Because you always put atoms in which it is deficient. Okay? To compensate the balance of the chemical reaction. Okay? Get the point. So the last to be balanced is the oxygen. Oxygen will be 6 plus 2 is equals to 12 plus 6 gonna be 8 is equals to 18. So it is not balanced. So we have deficient of oxygen in our reactant. So let X as the number of atoms beside oxygen gas. So let's do the algebraic expression. Okay, oxygen here, 6 times 1, 6 plus X times 2, 2X is equals to 6 times 2, 12 plus 6 is gonna be 2X is equals to 18 minus 6. Therefore, 2X is equals to 12, right? Okay, then X is equals to 6. Then put 6 beside oxygen. Okay, now, second step is to have the overall balance of the chemical reaction. Let's say carbon 6 balance, hydrogen 12, hydrogen 2 balance, oxygen is 6 plus 12 is equals to 18 in the left, and in the right is 12 plus 6, 18. So 18 balance. Perfect. As I told you, it's good to balance algebraic expression rather than trial and error method. Putting anything just to balance the left and the right. So I don't recommend you to do that, guys. Gasoline compound or gasoline hydrocarbon. So 8 atoms of carbon plus 18 atoms of hydrogen. C8 each 18, and then there are number of moles inside. How can you balance? By trial and error method. So you can do that. We need to do the algebraic expression of balancing the chemical reaction or balancing the chemical equation, just like this. Perfect. Okay. So the basic explanation to this: if we eat kabush, pandesal, let's say white rice, yellow rice, like that, plus oxygen gas, assuming that you don't drink water yet, and then you will go outside or inside because there's an AC, it will produce oxygen gas. So oxygen gas plus the glucose you found on the rice you eat is equal to the carbon dioxide when you exhale. When you exhale, every second, okay, the CO2 will be released to the atmosphere or to the surrounding. then plus water. The water here in the product will be inside our body. Okay, it will not release as a liquid. Instead, it will be a liquid in form inside our body, in our digestive, and it will go anywhere else and react to other molecules. So, we assume that we don't drink water yet. Bahala matukan ka. I'm just emphasizing that water will comes in, will produce in the product. Now, if you drink water, a lot of water will be produced. Okay, you got the point. So, the water that will be produced naturally inside your body, and the water you drink outside source in your kitchen like that, and you drink it. So there will be a lot of water na talaga siya. Okay, so you will say, so Sotero, it's a magic. It's a sort of a magic because there's no liquid here. See, glucose is a solid, oxygen is a gas. Then why it will produce liquid inside our body? There's a magic that nobody can explain properly, even the scientist. So this is a gift from God, that when you add solid and a gas will form a liquid, which is supposedly not to happen. When you add solid to solid, it will become solid. When you add liquid to liquid, it becomes liquid. And why? Solid plus liquid, it will become a liquid inside our body. We don't involve heating here. Heat at certain temperature. Okay, we are just doing this naturally. When you eat the rice and then breathe oxygen, then why it will convert to water later on. This is not a decomposition reaction. Okay, this is a sort of combustion in another point of view. Okay, you get the point? Because anything you will add with oxygen that is combustion process already, it's not limited to hydrocarbons only. As long as you add oxygen, it undergoes rapid oxidation that is following the principle of combustion. Again, combustion process is not limited to hydrocarbon. Okay. Any, CHO family or substances, it will be always following the combustion process if you add oxygen. But normally, we will never call that as a combustion, but the process and the chemicals will be involved are combustion because the products are carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so ayun pala din literal. Okay, because may abuta. Okay, to the point. Things like that. So now we go now to glucose. Okay, I love glucose. Okay, everybody loves glucose because this provides energy to everybody, to all photosynthetic living organisms in the planet Earth, including the highest form of animal, which is the human being. Okay, because we are the highest form of living organism and we are really highly photosynthetic. Meaning, we are not surviving without the presence of the sunlight. All of us will die without the sunlight. Okay, let's wait here. Okay, again, all of us will die if there is no sunlight. Okay, that's why we need sunshine vitamin, the vitamin D. Okay, like that. So we have the glucose, and glucose is very important as a raw material for our, Calvin cycle, Krebs cycle, like that, in producing adenosine triphosphate, like in a particular cycle for our aerobic or anaerobic cellular respiration. Yes, okay, and also to our metabolism. Things like that, you get the point. Okay, so glucose, and most of it will be burned. The glucose first, I will explain. Okay, so glucose, nailhan nato siya in a blood sugar. So blood sugar, okay, like that. Then the representation of glucose will normally describe as the carbohydrates, because these are the large percentage of carbohydrates compared to other sugars. You get the point, things like that. Okay, and it's easy also to burn glucose. Why? So Sotero, why it's easy to burn glucose? Okay, why? Because this is C6H12O6. Okay, this is aldohexose sugar. It's easy to burn compared to sucrose. Okay, sucrose is carbon 12 H22O11. Imagine, the carbon atoms are being doubled. And also the hydrogen and the oxygen. So, by common sense, it will not, be born immediately. If we put sugar in our coffee, like that, if we put white sugar in our bread during the pastures making or baking goods or food, if you put white sugar, because the formula is carbon 12-22O11. Okay, by common sense, the molecular weight is very huge compared to the glucose itself, half of it. Okay, things like that nakakaloka. Okay, it's not easy to burn white sugar compared to glucose. Okay, because of the molecular weight first. Okay, and then, it's easy to burn also glucose because the double bond is in the carbon number 1. If you try to put the structural orientation. So, lahat may pinaghuhugutan yan. Okay, when we say it's easy to burn, it's easy to metabolize, it's easy to break down, things like that. So, number 1 there is the molecular weight. Okay, how heavy. And the number 2 will be the double bond. Okay, so things like that. So the more you have, that's why the more you have so many double bonds, the more the substances will become healthy. Things like that. You get the point, mga nakakaloka, mga kapatid ko hiya. Okay? Kapatid, muna siya. Okay, so muna tong glucose. Okay. You get the point. Now, since we know already where this glucose came from, then we need to have another name of glucose. Another name of glucose, guys, is, okay, this is also called dextrose. Okay, dextrose. When you put dextrose in the hospital, that's equivalent of glucose. The same chemical formula, but may differ in their application, but have also a little bit of similar in application. That is, isomers with each other. Glucose, dextrose. That's why we put dextrose to the patient, right? Okay, and we have also the inositol. Okay, inositol is just like a nutrient, okay, that we need because this inositol can function as a vitamin, something like that. You get the point, mga palangga kong hitag, and it will also serve a good source of our energy inside our body. Okay, like that, and we use as a precursor for synthesis. Okay, unlike the glucose, in which it's it's used to metabolize. Okay, like that, and then dextrose also to produce oxygen. Basically, these are the same formula: C6H12O6. Okay. Now, so if we try to identify sugars, we need to identify this aldose sugar and ketose sugar. Which is good? Aldose sugar or ketose sugar? Okay. Which is good? It's gonna be aldose sugar. Because aldose sugar, the double bond is in the carbon number 1 and it's easy to burn. That's why the glucose will be burned first. And ketose is the carbon number 2, the double bond, so it's not easy to burn. Okay, like that, though they have the same formula. For example, the fructose is a ketose sugar, and glucose is an aldose sugar. Between the two, it's not easy to burn fructose compared to glucose. That's why it will be burned later on. Okay, when all glucoses are finished to be burned. So, meaning to say, the one comes first in burning or broken down into waste products are the glucoses. You get the point, the aldose sugars. You get the point. That's why, if your ketose sugars will be burned, then it is good for the health. You will become healthy or you will become slimmer. Because imagine your ketose sugars are being used. Because those are reserved sugars inside your body. It will only be touched and consumed or burned off when all your glucoses are already burned. This will be happening most of the times during going to the gym, doing your cardiovascular disease exercise, running, cycling, all about anaerobic cellular respiration, meaning the oxygen will be a little bit consumed or reduced. Because the more you exercise, your oxygen will be reduced. That's why anaerobic cellular respiration. And at the time also, so that's the time your ketosis sugar will be controlled. Because, for example, if you have a 1 hour, 2 hour burning of your calories, the one will be burned first are the glucose kasi eh. Then if all your glucose will be burned, so that's the time it will touch your ketose sugar. Ketosis sugar. That's why ketosis is very important to those diet person. Okay, to person who maintain their health, to person who are really aiming far away from cardiovascular diseases, coronary diseases, type 2 diabetes, diabetes mellitus, things like that, kidney failure, liver failure, obesity, overweight, things like that, or atherosclerosis. Okay? You get the point? Anaksha. Okay, so somebody called me a lot because so that is for my Canada application, but later on I will answer that later on. Okay, because I've been processing my Canada application, so it's just a try until you die. Joke. Okay. So see him later on. It's initial processing of my papers. Okay, from Saudi Arabia direct to Canada, things like that. Okay, so I haven't communicated to the person in charge. Okay, but I'm in the process of doing that. Okay, now we have here the glucose. Okay, so that's from Dubai. Dubai, immigration consultancy and services. They keep on calling me several times. Okay, you get the point. So we have also gluconic acid, okay, related to glucose. So meaning to say, if that is the case, the formula will be also present there. Okay, you get the point. Though it is a carboxylic acid because it has an acid, okay, in the name or in the terminology. Okay, but the glucose will be there. You get, okay, gluconic acid. For example, if you have honey, honey, honey sugar will be produced from the bees, like that. They will produce through the process of pollination in the plants, in the leaves of the plants, things like that. Okay, and then they will produce sugar, and the sugar will be called honey. Okay, so it depends on the situation because it is more sweet than the white sugar, and then it has more calories, in fact, compared to the white sugar. Okay, but if you try to balance the equation also, so since honey is not processed, okay, it's natural, so it would turn out that it would be a little bit better compared to the white sugar. And at the same time also, since this is coming from the bees and the plants, so this is really natural. So there's an antioxidant property. But white sugar is not an antioxidant. White sugar, refined sugar, okay, processed sugar, the white color in your table, okay, or in your kitchen. So it is not really natural, but honey is natural. But if we talk about calories, honey have more calories compared to the white sugar. But the only difference, this honey sugar coming from the bees, natural, and then it will try to kill the bacteria, okay? From the food you eat, when you mix that to the food or whatever. Okay, you get the point. Things like that. So I will show you the reaction. So glucose plus, okay, like that. Glucose plus oxygen gas. Again, rapid oxidation. Okay, you get the point. So it's equal to, okay, the same thing before, right? But now in this case, we need to produce hydrogen peroxide plus gluconic acid. Okay, like that. That's why, guys, the reaction of water, guys, is irreversible chemical reaction. Be careful because sometimes when you try to reverse that chemical reaction, for example, hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas will be equal to water. That or decomposition reaction. Water, then you apply heat, will become hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas, and this is the natural things like that. Okay, then sometimes it will yield hydrogen peroxide. Okay, and you balance the chemical reaction, so it will produce two types of products. The other one is the suspected carcinogen, and the other one is the natural process, the producing water. Okay, you get the point? Yeah. H2 plus O2 is equals to H2O. Like the 2 moles of water. That is the natural. But if you try to reverse, it would be having the same different products na. Pwede sa siyang H2 plus O2, pwede sa siya hydrogen peroxide. Okay? Plus the reverse. You get the point? Hydrogen peroxide plus oxygen gas pa siya. Things like that. Ni kabali. Ni mo. You get the point? Ana-ana siya. No? Mo na siyang irreversible reaction. Okay? It will not be going back to its original composition. The question will say, what is an acid found is responsible reaction? The fructose is a natural process. Since it's combined with each other, glucose plus fructose muna ni siya ang honey sugar. Then that's why we have an antioxidant property because it's coming from the fructose side, which is 60% from the fruits. Usually all fruits have fructoses. When we have fructoses, automatic na siya yung mga antioxidant properties. Okay? Something like exercise, and then you eat fruits too much after your exercise. So sometimes it will not be an effective weight loss because of the fructose. Okay? Because that's only for the weight loss. There are more vitamins and minerals will be obtained by the fruits rather than the fructose. The fructose only is inhibiting the weight to become thin, like that. Okay, you get the point? But choose where you are, the vitamins and minerals for your healthy body, or just only to have an abs to make it thin. So ano na lang po sa mga vitamins and minerals for healthy life. Wala ko ako'y abs. Wala di kumudaot. Okay? Because fructose have two, kasi siya good or bad, something like that. Okay? But if this is 60% fructose, so complementary to antioxidant properties. Kami na siya sa honey. Okay, get the point. So there's a lot also disadvantage for honey, but for me, honey is more good because it is natural. Okay? It depends on the leveling, how much you put, or if it is a raw honey, or it is a processed honey. There are two also. Processed honey, sugar, and not processed honey. Ang akong giingon na niyan, takot yung natural na honey. Okay? Katong murag, dili siya itong kaayo. Charot. Okay? You get the point. Now, we produce from the honey sugar to rapid oxidation to produce the hydrogen peroxide. Now, the hydrogen peroxide will kill the cell wall of the bacteria. Okay? So we need to say if your digestive system will be clean if you use honey sugar compared to the white sugar, because white sugar cannot kill the bacteria. Okay? In fact, it will cause you for obesity. Okay? Then I will go for honey because honey can have the chance of killing the bacteria, especially the Clostridium botulinum. Okay, the bacteria that can cause the poison of the food. Okay, you got the point. Clostridium botulinum. So the disease will be now botulism. Okay, you get the point. So makakausa siya cancer. Things like that. Okay, so lang ang hydrogen peroxide will kill the cell wall of the bacteria, and the bacteria will be broken down into pieces inside your body. Diba? Ang saya. Okay, if you use honey sugar. Okay, I have here, I will show you. But I don't also put this every time because I don't love sugar. What I mean, I don't intake sugar dili alatul. Okay, sometimes I put this honey sugar. Okay, like that. Okay, but I don't have white sugar in the kitchen. Okay, only the honey. Okay, because sometimes I blended that to the lemon juice. And then lemon juice, and then the other one will be, nakalimot ko sa akong giag, basta mo na siya lemon juice, orange ba akong giag, guys? Basta for treating cough, like that, okay, and like that, like that, and phlegm, things like that, okay? Natural solution to avoid cough and fevers, things like that, okay? So, ako na siyang i-add ang honey. And the honey also, guys, you have, for me guys, I have a little bit of katul-katul sa skin, okay? I understand that already because you know I'm not eating too much carbohydrates, meat. I don't eat too much with high refined carbohydrates. So the chance is I may not have large amount of keratin protein. So if you lack of keratin protein, let's say for example, I am not having too much protein in my body, okay, that's why your skin will be eaten up with this bacteria in your pores, the skin. So they will keep on asking the keratin. Okay, and they will eat the skin because the keratin level in your skin is not enough. So they will bite your skin. That's why you have skin diseases. Okay, the main cause is you have lack of keratin protein. Okay, if you have adequate level of keratin protein, then this bacteria will not eaten up your skin pores because adequate level. Okay, and some of the vitamins, of course. I'm just specifying only the situation about this kind of prevention. Ganon. Okay, now if you put honey, guys, okay, directly to your skin, this is through experience. Okay, after 10 to 15 minutes, okay, and then you will wash that with water. And after put soap, all the skin disease will be lost. So it will not become itchy anymore. Because as I told you, it contains an antioxidant property. This honey, sugar, aside from putting that in your coffee and your tea, it can also sometimes it can help you to reduce skin diseases, itchy like that in your skin. So because I tried that also. Okay, before I bought the like a ointment or a cream, something like that, just to remove the itchiness of my skin. Sometimes I'm lacking of keratin protein. Okay, because I'm limiting meat intake because meat has so many protein. Okay, and some of the carbohydrates. That's why siguro wala siya netabo. Okay, then muna mga tol akong skin. Ako na siyang pahiran ako honey, an alternative to the katong mga cream na katong mga ointment. Okay, you got the point? Okay, mo na siya, nakasave kong kwarta. It's just because of using honey. Apply that in my skin. So wala na kasi mga katol-katol. Okay, you got the point? Ganon! Okay? Because of the antioxidant property of honey, sugar. Aside also from the cough, you will blend that to the orange or to the lemon, then you will take that into your esophagus, going to digestive, and your cough will be removed. So diba? So multiple purpose, but sugar, what is the sugar has no like that. Okay? It can cause only to obesity and weight, things like that. You got the point? And the one who will manufacture the ribose sugar and the deoxyribose sugar used in our genes, in our DNA, is not the white sugar kasi. You got the point? It's not the white sugar, it's not the sucrose. Okay, that's why. So if you try to summary all the overall, it's gonna be honey is better, a little bit better compared to the white sugar. Some also are fighting with that, with different sources like that, whatever. Okay, some also it's not good compared to the white sugar. But the thing is the processing. Okay, you get the point? So muna siya. Natural man din ang honey, that's something like that. Okay? So I'm not telling you that I'm always using the honey. I'm just telling the truth. Makita mo sa chemical reaction, good? Okay, see? Like this chemical reactions. Okay, ganon. Okay, glucose. Now we start how to say, write the chemical formula of glucose in a structural way. Okay, now, mga palangga kong hitad. Okay, now mga palangga kong hitad, we have in our organic chemistry or biochemistry, we have the two types of representing a structural chemical formula. We have the Fisher projection. Take note, this has not been taught very well in college and in high school. Okay. So the whole of projection, it talks about the closed chain, like a cyclic polygon. For example, benzene, 3 double bonds in benzene, C6H6, ethyl benzene, or what we call toluene. Okay, so we have the attachment of CH3 and pattern also 3 double bonds, ethyl benzene. We have also cumene. There's also a benzene there. And we have also the styrene. Styrene also have a benzene also. So it's gonna be like that, is represented in a whole word. But be careful guys, this whole word is not applicable to the organic compound that have lesser than 4 carbon atoms. Okay, for example, if I have less than 3 or less than 2, for example, I have glycerol. Okay, so Sotero ng glycerol. Glycerol is an alcohol of sugar. Hello, yes. If you take sugar also, it will be converted with alcohol later on inside your body. So meaning to say, don't worry if you will never drink whiskey, beer, things like that, because there's a lot of food substances that will be converted to alcohol later on inside your body. Just like the sugar. The sugar will be converted to alcohol later and it will become glycerol. Okay, through normal process inside your body. You don't have to drink alcoholic beverage through chemical reactions only. Okay? Biosynthesis chemical reaction naturally inside your body. Okay? So muna nga, so no need talaga to drink alcoholic. That's why there are also non-alcoholic people. Okay? And they are still alive now. That's the reason, even though we need alcohol. Because we can manufacture alcohol naturally. Or else, all people in the world will drink alcohol, beer, whiskey, because we don't have alcohol inside our body. We have alcohol inside our body. No need to add. Okay. Since you love it, that's your culture. You started it from younger age. So you have to, because you go to the party, you'll be enjoying. So that's another story. That is only culture and tradition already. But if you talk about science, it's factual. Okay? So we need to say we are having already alcohol inside already. Natural alcohols. Okay? That's the point. Ganon. Okay. I'm not saying na nag-discourage ka mong inom. I'm just telling the truth. Who am I to stop you from drinking alcoholic beverage? Okay, you have the freedom, you have the 1000% freedom to do that. Okay, but I'm just telling the truth, right? About science facts. Okay, now we have here the glucose. Okay, so the Fisher projection, projection 20%. Sinipon test. Okay, like that. So I joined different film contests before. The criteria of judging will always say stage presence, stage projection 20%, voice quality 50%, timing 10%, a total of 100% like that. So the glucose will be here. So anak siya. So Fisher ang Fisher guys, mura niya itong carbon hydrogen attachment lang siya. No chain chuba chucho. Okay, got the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen. So it takes only 5 elements in order for us to survive. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Okay, without this, we will die. Again, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Present already. Okay, the lipids, the fats, the carbohydrates, the nucleic acids, the amino acids, the protein, the minerals, the vitamins, like that, okay. And other, antioxidants substances, flavonoids substances, polyphenol substances also, that can fight viruses. Okay, you got the point. Anak siya. Okay, CHNOP regular siya, guys, ha? Okay. Nganong i-apel din yung phosphorus? Digital makakuan yung, if no phosphorus, what ay DNA? Okay, DNA, nucleic acid, and phosphate group phosphorus have there to match in the reaction of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. And the ribonucleic acid na siya yung mga phosphorus, yung imong tantangan ng phosphorus. Kung saan man yung paghimong bata, wala kayo phosphorus. Okay, after sex, you will produce baby and you don't have enough level of phosphorus. So, di matao ang bata because we need phosphorus and nitrogen in order for the baby to born in the planet Earth. Okay. Mojo na siya na nitrogen o phosphorus. Okay. Ganon. So it could be either kung baog ka, nitrogen o phosphorus ang imong sperm cell. Kaya na may protein ang sperm cell, ang testosterone. So based on my research, there are at least 670 types of protein found in sperm cell or testosterone or in the semen of men and women. Because that's also coming from the food we eat. Okay? And the drinks we eat also. Ganun. If there's no protein, how can the baby will be born? Okay? And imagine oxytocin is having protein also in the formula. Oxytocin is a substance that the baby in the uterus will start to grow. If there's no oxytocin hormone, the baby will not become big inside the womb of the women because that is the function of the oxytocin hormone. Okay? And then, so that the girl will become pregnant. Okay? Then if you have low level of oxytocin, it could either be your baby will be abnormal or a special child. Things like that. Okay? So the level of oxytocin hormone must be adequate so that this baby will come out in the vagina later on after 9 months. Okay? Ganon. So ito, oxytocin hormone. Kung wala yung oxytocin hormone, hindi mo burot ng tiyan. Okay? Ganon. So muna siya. So, hindi siya magic. Hindi na siya yung substance na burot ng tiyan sa babae. Okay? You got the point? Anak siya. Okay, Fisher projection. Wow, green. I love green. Fisher projection. Okay. Fisher projection, representative structural formula was discovered by Mr. Emil Fisher in 1891. Okay? Emil Fisher in 1891. This is the most popular. Okay, and then we have also the Haworth projection. Okay, Haworth projection. Okay, like that. After Fisher, Haworth projection coming, but there's a lot of people who do the study for this. Haworth projection. So there's no specific who discovered first, who invented first. There's a lot of collaboration. Why this Haworth projection coming? Because it's also driven by the existence of Fisher projection. So dependent siya sa Fisher projection. Okay, like that. So without this discovery of Haworth, so Fisher projection is understood first. Okay. Like that. Now glucose. So guys, like this. So glucose is aldohexose sugar. Hexose because C6H12O6, 6 atoms meaning hexose or hexane. Things like that. Okay, hexa. Okay, 6. Okay, so C6H12O6. So like that. So the appearance will be the D-glucose and the L-glucose. So the D-glucose and the L-glucose are the enantiomer with each other. Meaning to say the mirrored like DNA obtained from the food we eat. That's why we don't put D anymore because that's understood the glucose in our blood. But if you try to be strict, that is D-glucose. Capital D dash glucose. Since that is already understood that the natural existence of that glucose is D, no need to put D. You get the point? But in the purpose of distinction, if you try to stress the existence of the L-glucose, that's the time you will put D to differentiate between the L-glucose. I will show you the chemical formula. Okay, so hexose meaning 6 atoms carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon atoms. Carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6. Okay. Like that. Then, aldohexose. Aldo coming from aldehyde. So the aldehyde formula will be carbon, double bond, oxygen, side chain, alkyl group, then H. Things like that. Now, in your aldose hexose sugar, we need to carry this carbon, double bond oxygen, and H. So it's in the top of the carbon is carbon number 1. This is the reason why glucose will be burned easily. Okay, compared to the disaccharides sugar such as lactose, maltose, ganon, and sucrose. Okay, so we have here carbon number 1, so that double bond oxygen, double bond oxygen, single bond hydrogen, single bond carbon, ganon. Okay, then since here it's understood to be having hydroxide, so CH2OH, because this is HOH, so therefore CH2OH, no need to break. Okay, so for the purpose of discussion, we break first. This is CH2OH na ang tumoy. Okay, ganon. Okay, the top will be carbon, double bond oxygen, and H, and then the bottom part will be CH2OH automatically. Okay, now, in your glucose, the normal glucose or the D-glucose, so the OH is in the left in the carbon number 3. That is the tip during your memorization. Okay, it's in the carbon number 3 that the OH will be in the left. The rest OH will be in the right side. So that during your memorization, it's easy for you to detect the blood sugar chemical reaction inside your body. Okay, like that in the bloodstream, in the pancreas, like that in the liver, whatever. Okay, it's gonna be like that. So carbon number 3, so it's here. OH and H. So I will emphasize in the carbon number 3. The double bond is in the carbon number 1. That's why it will be born first. Okay. Now, we have here the OH on the right now, the rest. OH, 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 OH. Now, since there are 3 hydroxide group or hydroxyl group in the right, so this is called, okay, the D-glucose. Okay. The D-glucose or glucose alone is just the same. Okay? So meaning to say, the 3 OH will be in the right side. Okay, so that we can easily memorize by, mechanism. You got the point. So, the reverse for this is the L-glucose. This is produced not natural. Okay, this can be produced by different chemical reactions from outside sources, but not inside our body. Okay, but this kind of glucose will be inside our body, the D-glucose. But the glucose cannot be synthesized inside our body will be the L-glucose through different reactions of different substances, liquids like that, or process, whatever, things like that. As long as it is not biosynthesized inside our body, that is L-glucose, meaning not natural. The natural is the D-glucose. Okay, so you get the point. So, I didn't have to write because I said very clearly, if you try to say this, to write this one, just reverse the OH, and that's gonna be like that. That is the L-glucose. But take note, you have also to reverse the carbon number 3. The OH will be go down to the left also. Anything will be reversed. So we have to say, this is the mirror image. The D-glucose is the mirror image of the L-glucose, or vice versa. The D-glucose is the mirror image of the L-glucose. So meaning to say, they are enantiomer with each other. Okay, enantiomer. So substances that have the same chemical formula but produce an mirror image. Okay, you got the point. So it's gonna be like that. Okay. So ito, enantiomer. Okay, you got the point. Now, ang L-glucose naman siya, no? Ari na po ito sa Haworth projection. Okay. What is the Haworth structural formula of glucose? Like this. So, so you will form like this, okay? What do you call this one, guys? Okay, I will count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is hexagon. Okay, hexagon is a polygon. Okay, composed of 6 sides, not necessarily equal, but in organic compound, organic chemistry, it's used to be equal, the side. Hexagon. Okay, so it's going to be polygon. So our glucose will follow the hexagon or the polygon. This one. Okay, I will erase now the sides. I'm just emphasizing that this glucose have 6 sides of the polygon. Like that. Now, we need to have the carbon. These corners are the carbon. This one. Carbon, 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 carbon. Okay, the all corners. Now, since understood in the books, they don't put carbon anymore. They erase the carbon, but that is carbon supposedly. I will erase also here. Okay, like that. As long as we know that the corners are carbon atoms. Okay? You get the point? Ganon. Now, so what is the relationship between your OH and H? Okay, so it's gonna be like that. So always put in your brain cells that the glucose, the OH will be on the outside. Okay, like this. For example, here, OH outside, o diba? OH outside, o diba? So here also the OH outside, o diba? Then here, these carbons, 1, 2, 3. This is carbon number 3 as I told you. It is in the carbon number 3 that the OH will be in the left. So here, the OH will be inside the polygon. That is equivalent to the OH in the left, in the fissure. And this is Haworth already, right? It's gonna be OH. And then the partner of OH will always be H. Okay, in sugar. OH, H, OH, H. They are partnered with each other, but the parent element, the backbone, will be the carbon. Okay, so OH, H, ganon. So H here also. Okay, got the point mga palangga kami. Carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4. And where's your carbon 5? Your carbon 5 will be here. CH2OH. So carbon 5, things like that. Okay, or you can arrange that in here, somewhere here. Oxygen here. Because may double bond sa carbon number 1 na siyang oxygen dito. Oxygen like that. Okay? And then you have CH2OH here. Like this, carbon 5 here. Oh, carbon 5 here. Ganon. Okay. And now this is gonna be H. Ipa ang carbon balik. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, ganon. Okay. Ikatapan mga panangakong hitad, ganon. Diba? Oh, pila ka carbon. May hapan na mo guys. Okay? Anak siya. So, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, and carbon 5 diri ari. Okay, CH2OH. Okay, ganon. So, count the hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Imo nang i-count ang imong hydrogen. So, carbon, 6H12O6. Para ma-perfect nimo, so you have to get the general formula. Okay, carbon 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Perfect. Hydrogen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Now, inganaw yung pagsabot guys. If your hydrogen will be more, then this is already 12. So this will become your H. Okay. Ano na siyang tirada guys ha? That is not plain memorized. Because kung plain memorized, masayop man ka, then you have to review. Okay, ana siya. You get the point? So, muna siya metabo. Okay? Kaya sakto man yung carbon. So, atong ipa ng hydrogen value. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. O, diba? So, 12 na yung hydrogen. Oxygen. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. O. Diba? So, perfect. Muna siya ang formula sa glucose. Ang imong timan-an, ang tanang OH, except sa carbon number 3, are pointing outside the polygon. Only the carbon number 3 which is inside. Ganun, there's CH22H. Muna siya ang katong last siya sa carbon number 6. Kani siya, ang CH2OH. Yung kaning na yung O dire, mo sa siya sa carbon number 1. Dali. Walang 0% ang carbon. Kusumpot na siya dara. You get the point? Ana-ana siya mapalaga akong hitan. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Kaya 6 na yung carbon. O, diba? Ganon. O, muna siya ang imong. This is, guys, kung anong Fisher, D, and L, anong representation, here mo anak ang mga alpha, beta. Okay? If OH ni mo na ganit dito, guys, sa ubos ang imong OH, this is alpha. Okay, then this is alpha D, the naming, the technical naming. So this is alpha D glucopyranose. char, glucopyranose. Okay? Anong D? Because this is the natural one. Basta ang OH na sa ubos ha. Okay, get the point. And then, alpha D glucopyranose or alpha D glucose lang. Pwede na daog na. Okay? But more specific dito lang glucopyranose. Sa ito pa, ang alpha D glucopyranose or alpha D glucose is just the same. Okay? But if you can encounter teacher is very strict, sometimes they will not consider the glucose, they will consider really the glucopyranose. Okay? But actually, it's, based on my research, that is the same. Okay? You get the point. Okay, muna siyang alpha D glucopyranose. Now, nasa tayo, okay, beta D glucopyranose. Or, okay, beta D glucose only. So, i-change na din mong OH sa taas. So, muna na siya. OH, H. Imurang ibalitok ang OH. Ang OH kayo muna, nagaling siya sa taas, beta na yun. You get the point? So, beta D glucopyranose, anak siya. Okay? Kung imong balingon ni siya, imong i-orient, mahimo na po siya beta L glucopyranose or alpha L glucopyranose. But since under normal circumstances, ay naghilabti kay natural man, so ay ituyok. Okay? So, this is gonna be alpha D ng chuba-chusyo. Okay? So, natural din ang D, ha? Okay. Now, if not specified, that would mean alpha lang talaga kay alpha D, mo man siya ang nag-represent din sa imong glucose. Imong glucose. Okay. Ang nag-represent sa imong glucose sa Fisher, mo to ang D glucose. Okay. So, now, if you want to specify, because there's a glubog dito sa question ba lang sa board examination, for example, which of the following is the beta D glucose? A, blah blah blah, so and so, B, beta D glucopyranose, ganon. A, beta D fructofuranose, nang si furanose. Okay? Then your answer would be, okay, alpha D glucopyranose sa multiple choice. Okay, you got the point. Ganon siya. Diba? Ganon. So, muna na siya atong kuan ha. Alpha D glucopyranose or alpha D glucose. Okay. So, pasok na sa mga, di ba? Okay, now, we have glucose na to siya, no? So, glucose, at isulat din natin, glucose. So, this is one example of monosaccharides or simple sugar. Now, we go to galactose. So, galactose is a sugar coming from the breast milk from the women, or sometimes also can be the milk sugar. Okay, something like this can be found also in the dairy products. There's other sources actually. Sometimes it can be found also in the glycoprotein, glycolipid, something like that. There's a lot of sources because this is monosaccharides. You get the point? Nakuha mo mga palangga. Replace sa lactose. Glucose plus the lactose. Oh. It's like an ice cream. Ice cream contains all and the cheese. Okay, you get the point. So cheese are the dairy products, mayonnaise, like that. Okay, there's a sugar in there. So galactose, what is the Fisher formula of galactose or projection? So galactose anak siya. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then CH2OH automatically sa bottom part. Sa top, we have carbon double bond oxygen, the same with glucose. Follow the same pattern, like that. So, like, okay. Now, in your galactose, mga palangga, kung hitad, the OH in the left are in a carbon number 3, are in carbon number 4. This is only the difference. Adding carbon number 4 of OH in the left. The rest will follow in the right. Okay, so carbon 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's in the OH here, OH here. So encircle the difference from glucose. And the rest will be OH at the right. OH, OH, okay, and H, and H. So this will now become your D-galactose. Okay, natural man. D-galactose. Now if you try to reverse this, the carbon number 3 OH and carbon number 4 OH will go to the right, and the OH also natural will go to the left. This will become your L-galactose. L-galactose. So, meaning to say, in terms of sugar, the DML orientation is very important in Fischer reduction. The D is the natural existence. Okay, you got the point. So, di na kung magsusubat sa L-galactose, kaya parang kayo ang balinya mo ng L-galactose. Okay? You got the point. Now, we go to the Haworth projection. Okay. So sa Haworth projection, there's a little bit of confusion, but we will be a little bit extra careful, ha? Okay. Same story, hexagon, like that. Okay. Now, I said a while ago, in carbon number 3 and carbon number 4. So I will put now directly the distinction or the difference. Okay, carbon number 3, OH here, carbon number 4, OH here also. Okay, like that. Now, okay, the rest are outside the OH. So, OH here, outside lang to para sa glucose. So, H, OH, and H. Here, the CH2OH, permanent. This CH2OH, permanent siya per me. Sa, the same with glucose. Muna yung matiknik-tiknik, chuba-chucho. And oxygen, mo pilit diri ari. Okay? Ang oxygen, mo pilit siya diri ari, ha? Okay. So, nagot the carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Iangkon ang carbon sa oxygen. Lingkod man siya dito na wala ang carbon kunuhay. Pero actually na siya carbon diri ari. Okay? Mag-irang isabak. Okay, the point sa mga yung galactose. Oh, ang differentiation is sa 4 of 3K. Ang OH dito sa galactose dito. Amo to sa left na mo sa siya lisod. Lisod ang luha and the rest will follow. So mo ni siya. So I'll tell a while ago that the OH in the Haworth naman diri o sa carbon number 1 o. That means alpha. Alpha D. So this is galactose. It will become galactopyranose. Okay. Putlo na rin mo guys, ang atong wala na siya matus. Galacto na lang. Okay, galactopyranose. Just like the glucose, glucopyranose. Kanya, galactopyranose o pyranose.